This podcast shares personal experiences and life perspectives, not medical advice. We advocate for those living with chronic pain and chronic illness. Guest opinions are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of the host. Now, let's get real with the Arachnoiditis Unfiltered podcast.
All right. Welcome back. Another great, exciting episode of Arachnoiditis Unfiltered. I did an episode yesterday with a young lady from the Netherlands. And today I'm privileged enough to have Scott Groves, gentleman from New Zealand. So we are really touching people worldwide. It's so awesome to connect through, what's a horrible disease brings a lot of people together and brings a lot of positivity. The gentleman that we have today, Scott, is, man, we got a lot to talk about, brother. We both share the disease arachnoiditis. When were you formally diagnosed with
Uh,
arachnoiditis?
Formally diagnosed 2007. I was lucky that I had, it started out as prolapse disc crushing my spine,
Mm.
and they fixed that really good. Sciatica disappeared down my left leg, and then the doctor came in and says, "Oh, we need to put you some injections in." And he put 2 injections in, L3, L4, and missed both times. And there's those little funny dots that appear on the MRI image. But back then we didn't know too much about it. This is 2008, 2009. Nobody knew too much about it. And I got given, yeah, we need to do another operation. It was called a fenestration, which is opening up the nerve exits. And they said, yeah, 95% chance, 90, I think it was 98% chance you'll be okay. Yeah, and then just woke up from that paralyzed.
Man, so you were of the 2%, not the 98%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now we know, all of us know that if you've got arachnoiditis, don't blooming touch it.
No, no. I had a similar experience with mine. I had developed a spine fluid leak,
Mm,
and they had to go in and take the hardware out. Before that, I had bacterial meningitis, and I was in quite a bit of pain. I think it was after the bacterial meningitis, maybe even before that, maybe in my 20s, where I started feeling a little bit of arachnoiditis. But it wasn't until 2001 they did the surgery to take the hardware out, repair the CSF leak. And my doctor said, "Oh yeah, when I got in there, you were filled with bacteria. It was everywhere. The
yeah.
hardware was coated milky bacteria, so you
Oh,
were going to
no.
get meningitis again." But he said, and then I noticed that some of your nerves were clumped together, so I scraped them clean.
Oh, no.
Yeah, right. I mean, and the reason I know this, I sat across from him, and he's a good guy, and I don't blame him for this because it's
No,
lack of knowledge, right?
there
Back
was
then,
no knowledge back then.
no. I mean, there was, arachnoiditis was first mentioned in medical books in the 1800s. Somebody had discovered it, but it really hasn't been mainstream, which, that's really what we're trying to do here with the podcast and all the interviews is to get the word out there. But yeah, when they go in there and start scraping on those nerves, man, oh my gosh, my pain was so intense right after surgery, and
Yeah,
it's never stopped. That was in
yeah,
2001, and I was in pain before that, but it was in worse pain after that, and still now it's progressing. But
yeah. I
yeah, we're
was
gonna make a
I was
difference.
really, really lucky to have the only specialist in New Zealand that fixed up the myodol dye. Remember the myodol dye in the 90s?
Yeah. The
Yeah,
oil
yeah,
but die. Yeah.
yeah. He was the specialist who fixed up all the New Zealand mess ups with the dye. And one day he saw me cuddling a water fountain in a hospital. and crying. And he says, right, I want you as the guinea pig. Yeah, yeah. And we did a short 4-week multidisciplinary rehabilitation trial. He wanted me as an arachnoiditis patient because I had a perception of pain. And that was one of the main things he wanted. Um, the short-term one, yeah, that didn't last long. I slipped back into my old ways and everything else again. But then in 2015, I got picked up for the he got told the public hospital because I'm in a socialized healthcare system, which
Okay.
makes a huge difference to your outcome with arachnoiditis.
In what way?
Um, More because it's doctors will treat you holistically, ra- from many directions, rather than just one doctor to the next doctor to the next doctor. And
Just
the
shove.
outcome is based on your recovery, not how much dollars they can earn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the way
And
it should be based. I mean,
yeah,
there's certain things that they can't get around with, like cancer, right? But there's other things they have to do their best. And I think when you have an outcome that's based on how much work you put into it, you know, you're going to put more work into it. I recently got diagnosed with dysautonomia, and again, another rare, hard to diagnose, can't do anything about it, unfortunately. I mentioned it to 3 different doctors. None of them took an interest in it. I'm like, you know what? My heart rate jumps up to 160 for no reason
yeah,
whatsoever. My blood pressure jumps up. My gut goes crazy. I have these bouts of nausea, and they're all the most important one was my cardiologist. When I told him, he should take note of that, because when my heart rate does this after
yeah,
4 heart attacks and 9
yeah,
stents, somebody's got to take an interest. So it's all the gaslighting, right? Just shoving you through the door. I like your way of medicine better than our way. Our healthcare system here in the US is really pretty screwed up.
yeah,
It's
yeah. So
good, but it's screwed up.
in 2015, he told the hospital he was head of rehabilitation for the Lower North Island of New Zealand for spinal rehab. And spinal surgeon as his core, but rehabilitation was his mainstream. He was a Dutch doctor from Amsterdam, and de Groot. He's very famous in New Zealand.
I think I've
Um,
heard of the group. Yeah.
he is he was the Dr. T before Dr. T came along.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Is he still practicing?
Yes, he is still practicing. Yeah. But in 2015, he told the hospital, "Get stuffed. I'm gonna go out on my own." And he asked me to be his first patient
Wow. Okay.
because he had some trials he wanted to do. And it was a bonus having arachnoiditis because I was able to be his guinea pig.
That's that's not something you would normally hear anybody say about this
No.
disease, but I kind of feel fortunate enough to have discovered that I have it.
Mm,
Um, because it kind of gives me a bit of a platform to go out there and be an advocate, which honestly, before I started doing this and before I got involved in the arachnoiditis groups on Facebook, I had no sense of purpose anymore. I had no sense of value. Now I do. I mean, I'm getting, positive comments. I'm meeting people like yourself, and, we're talking about our disease openly instead of in the private silo of the Facebook groups, where only you just have to come across a snapshot of something before, there's so much more information that needs to be out there. And so I guess I got
Yeah.
tired of hiding
Yeah.
it. And then,
So,
so,
he picked me up for a set of clinical trials. There was about 3 or 4 run in conjunction with each other. The first one was the Oxycontin crisis.
oh, yeah, I went through that.
Oh.
Yep.
Um, so I was the first New Zealand patient put onto medical cannabis
Okay.
in New
Okay.
Zealand. Yeah, it was, Sativex, which is a British drug, an oral spray that you spray on your tongue. Um, but, I always went carrot and stick, because in 2009, I was part of ketamine trials in New Zealand,
Wow.
just to see what it did to pain patients. That was all, it was an observational trial, and I says, "Alright, you give I'll do the cannabis, you give me ketamine," and, we comboed those 2 drugs together, and I weaned myself off opiates in about 2.5 months.
Yeah, that's tough, brother.
Yeah, yeah. We
I,
used, he was crafty. He used, junkie methadone
okay. Yeah.
to, slowly decrease me off. And, one of the bonuses with ketamine is it chops off your opiate receptors, and so you can fast withdrawal. And so I had no withdrawals whatsoever coming out of that.
Count your blessings because I quit mine cold turkey
Yeah,
and I went through 3 months of sheer hell and two
yep,
years of literal hell. Just
yep,
my body revolting
yep.
constantly. It was horrible. Yeah.
And that was the battle I was facing for 5 years on Oxycontin, was that battle. And one day a script didn't turn up or something like that, and you were, I think it's called riding the bike.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
legs are going for it.
Mm-mm. You
Yeah,
know
but
what?
that
What
was sorry?
I was gonna say, what got me the most was my everything felt internalized. It just felt like everything was going towards the center mass of my body. All that
Yes.
pain. It
Yeah,
was God, it's so hard to think about going through that again. That was right about the time that they started limiting prescriptions and I saw the
yeah,
writing on the wall. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be forced to get caught up in that. I'll do it of my own accord, which I did, but it was against medical advice. It was very dangerous. I don't recommend it for anybody, but I'm so glad to be away from the opiates. So
oh,
glad.
yeah, I still remember the day I took my last dose and thought the sunlight had come back into the room. Well, I think was the best
Yeah.
way I could describe it.
Yeah. It's like a fog gets lifted,
Yep.
right?
Logs,
Light,
you
light.
described
Yeah.
it perfectly. Yeah, so that was part of it, was getting me off the opiates. The biggest part was a 2-year trial of multidisciplinary rehabilitation,
Okay.
long-term
And
multidisciplinary rehabilitation. This was
what did
done
that look?
through Professor Lorimer Moseley, who's a neuroscientist from Australia. He wrote a great book, Explain Pain, which is it's available at any library, and it explains pain to a simple person without all the doctor speak. That's the book he's famous for, but I was part of his trial for multidisciplinary rehabilitation. So what they did, they gave me a team of 6 clinicians. Dr. De Groot was the pain specialist and overall lead. I had Craig, he was my occupational therapist. I had a physiotherapist. I had a psychologist, Dr. Collette, still see her. I had a nutritionalist. All these things became involved, and they all talked to each other round the table. So it was none of this one doctor to the next doctor to the next. They were all I had to go into a meeting once a month with them all just to, go over my case.
Yeah.
And I had to document everything. My pain levels every day, what I ate, what I did, everything had to be documented.
Yeah, as
Yeah,
it should. I mean, that's where you see patterns with
yep,
healthcare, right?
yep. And there was patterns. Like the biggest one was finding out that what caused breakthrough pain, not flare up, the proper breakthrough
Yeah.
pain breaking you, happens 48 hours before it hits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, y-
So it
did,
takes a little while for that inflammation to start kicking in.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's I talk a lot about the epiphany I had when I figured out that barometric pressure
Mhm.
affects my flare ups.
Yep.
Weather would move through a day or two after I'd
Yep.
started feeling that pain. And
Yep.
it took me a while to associate it. But when I did, it was like an aha moment. And then I
Yep.
started asking people, and they're
Yep.
like, oh, yeah, weather.
Julian
Sure.
explained that to me. He says, we've got three types of receptors in our bodies: mechanical, which sends hazard signals from our damage;
Uh,
chemical; and temperature. Those are the only three receptor types in our body. The temperature can hitch a ride on top of those hazard signals. So an arachnoiditis patient can tell a storm's coming well before a weatherman can.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
Uh,
and it's weird how that works out. And again, that should be one of those things when we're diagnosed,
Yeah.
the physician should hand us a sheet that says, look, weather's going to affect you,
Mm,
temperature's going to affect you, all these things are going to affect you versus we have to, we had to go, and hopefully we're going to change that, to Facebook and, and talk to other people that had the
yeah,
disease.
that's
What
one of the
It's
most
hard to
common
find a lot.
questions asked
Yeah.
is, I get hot at night.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Body
usually
temperature regulation.
yeah, usually I
Yeah.
tell people, don't put blankets on your feet.
I cannot stand blankets on my feet,
Yep,
man. They
that's
hurt
it.
so bad. And I
Yep,
can't take my socks off. My socks are constantly on my feet because they're so sensitive to just even the air.
yeah, yeah. I'm the opposite. I'm a New Zealander, so we're allowed to walk around bare feet anywhere. So, I walk everywhere, forest trails, everywhere, bare feet.
Sarah and I were talking about that. It's called grounding.
Grounding,
Um,
yes.
you know, connecting to the earth. I
Yes,
wish I could do that. Yeah,
yeah,
because there's a lot of positive energy that comes through. I mean, everything is electrical, right? Everything has a positive or a negative charge to it. So we're going to transfer something electrically, and that's just one of those things. I wish I could do it, but my feet are so sensitive.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Um,
hey, I
but
want
yeah,
to
out of this trial, it ran for 2 years, and then they rolled it out throughout New Zealand to
really.
all patients.
How
It didn't
many? I
matter
mean,
what injury you had, you got a
okay.
multidisciplinary team. They all got together. They tried to improve your quality of life was the main goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Well, and
was the
that's
sole goal.
should be the sole goal, right? And we have, I'm getting ready to do an episode coming up in April um, uh, on palliative care, which is essentially what you're talking about. You have
Yeah.
basically a team. It's not, it gets confused a lot with hospice, going home
Yes.
to die.
Yes.
You're at the end of the palliative care is completely different. It's people that have multiple things going on where they need a multidisciplinary
Yeah.
approach to actually taking care of it instead of just
Yeah.
one guy trying to do it all, right? Primary care physicians doling out all these pills and sending you
Yeah.
here for this exam and that exam and more blood, whatever. People need to be talking. They're not talking. They're reading notes from somebody else when the conversation should be live because that's when it stimulates a different direction or a different thought or an aha moment. All at the it's at the expense of the patient or it's at the benefit of the patient.
Yeah.
Either or.
Yeah.
So, hey, I'm gonna shift for just a second because
Go for it.
you are quite the sensation on Facebook.
Yeah,
Am I not
yeah,
right? Tell
yeah,
us about
yeah,
that.
yeah. It started off as photography.
Okay.
Um, my psychologist figured out that it's part of sensory therapy. HTTS something, I think, therapy, where you combine all your senses and they start to overpower the pain signal. And photography was one that I figured out that when I was going out and taking photographs, pain would disappear because I was hearing, I was feeling, I was seeing all these things happen. So I started off just just doing photography, and people started liking it, and now I've got 400,000 followers on Facebook, and yeah, 82 million views this month.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we started the YouTube channel back in June, late June, probably I think June 28th or somewhere around there. We're up to 320 subscribers,
Mm,
um, almost 26,000 views of the stuff that we posted. And I hear these numbers and they astound me that there's that many people that, um, you know, can get in line with it. And I love the fact that you're using it as a way to deal with the pain because I've started gardening
yeah,
and there's therapeutic gardening is a thing,
yeah,
right? It's all about distraction and
absolutely.
you're grounding. Um, I used to love to pull weeds, just
Yeah,
monotonous. You know,
yeah,
my earphones in. I just go out there and bend over and pull weeds. And somebody said, "Why do you do that? Why not, pay a service?" And I'm like, because it's therapeutic for me. I've worked with my hands all my life. Was a carpenter, and lived on a farm and did all kinds of farm work. I love that.
yeah.
That's a great distraction.
The Kiwis, I tell, grow a cannabis plant in your
Oh,
home.
it's actually really fun. I mean,
Yeah,
I did it myself a few years back.
yeah.
And Oklahoma, if you didn't know this, is one of the prime locations for growing marijuana for cannabis
Mm,
because of the season that we have. The heat. They love heat. They just need a ton of water and a lot of love. But it's fun to watch them grow.
just
Mine
the
were like 7 feet
advocacy
tall.
of tending it and everything.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, it's
I've got
almost
a
like a
lot of
bonsai. You
Yep,
know.
exactly. I've got a lot of people just curating trees.
Hmm.
And some of them don't even smoke.
Well, you know what? There was a group that I ran across, Compassionate Cannabis, because it's not cheap, um, and a lot of people can't afford it. But if it helps them, why not? What I grew fit into a 5-gallon bucket. I had a ton of marijuana. Most of it went bad before I could get it, and I gave it out to friends. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, that was probably one of my funnest projects, and I've been wanting to do it. It's right now we're at the season where I could put something in the ground
Just
and
about time for
let it
you.
go
It's
crazy.
our harvest time here. Um, I
Oh,
don't
okay.
I don't smoke cannabis now. I haven't for about 5 years.
Mhm.
But I do take oil, a tincture,
Okay. Yeah.
THC 10 milligram, CBD 10 milligram. That goes right back to that very first trial I started with
Mhm.
Sativex. It was exactly the same dose.
Yeah, there's a
Um,
lot of positive benefits to the cannabinoids, a
yeah,
lot of positive benefits.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, you can make it, a lot of people make butter, like a cannabinoid butter. It was a good option, and that goes great in coffee. So if you're a
Bang
coffee.
on coffee,
You
coffee.
are?
No, there is a recipe in the New Zealand uh, health department how to make cannabis coffee.
Really? Okay.
Yes, yeah. You decarb the weed first. You decarb it to change it from THCA to delta 9. You put a gram in a tea infuser. You put it in a pot with 2 cups of water. Boil the hell out of it until you start to smell it.
Mm,
And then you pour your first cup, and then you add instant coffee to it, bit of creamer. That's your morning dose.
okay.
And then you
We're
put
gonna have
the other cup, um, and you microwave that at night, and add a bit of creamer, coffee, or tea,
okay.
and yeah, and that is the New Zealand Ministry of Health guidelines for cannabis, coffee, and tea.
That is government sponsored. I
It
love
is,
it.
especially
Uh,
when the government tell you you've got to go and buy a grinder and you've got to go and buy some scales.
oh, we legalized for medical purposes here in Oklahoma a few years back, and there's all these regulations like you can't see it from the street growing.
Yeah,
Well, even with a 6-foot fence,
yeah,
I see them 8 feet tall. I mean, these things are growing huge, and it's so lax now. They just need to legalize it
yeah,
across
yeah,
the country.
yeah. But
It's so
specifically
hard.
for arachnoiditis patients, you
Mm,
need that little bit of CBD.
yeah,
For the
yeah.
neuropathic pain down the legs, what happens when you mix THC with a little bit of CBD? It's called the entropy effect. So my 10 milligrams of CBD becomes 100 milligrams.
Oh, so you're
Yeah.
like transforming it up then.
Yes, it's a
Okay.
natural thing the body does. It's called the entropy effect. Thank you, Dr. De Groot, for teaching me all about cannabis.
Yeah.
Good to get a
Well, and
doctor from Amsterdam.
yeah, and we're educating the masses as well with this. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
his information went to you.
yeah,
It's gone to me. Now it's
yeah.
going to go out to the
So
world.
it does a three-way job. The THC doesn't it does a little bit on spasms. It takes the edge off the pain a little bit, but it's not a major painkiller. The CBD though, that stops all that water dripping down my legs. Pins and nails is the
Hmm.
common one. And there's another one called beta caryophyllene that Jurian was on about. It's found in cloves. You know how your toothache, when you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
toothache, you use
Mhm.
cloves? It's high in a compound called beta caryophyllene, and it's a super anti-inflammatory. And it goes around and binds to CB2 receptors throughout your body, and that drops inflammation. But you've got to be eating it for 30 days before you start noticing the inflammation properties start to kick in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it
that's
goes through the blood-brain barrier.
oh, that's why it's getting down to the
Yeah,
arachnoiditis
yeah.
then.
Scientists are trying to figure it out because it attaches to every immune cell in your body. And
Wow.
they're
Okay.
trying
So
to figure out how to target cancer treatments with it. That was 2024. I don't know how far that's gone,
I,
but it's sort of a three-way drug for me. It's the painkilling, inflammation, leg issues. The other funny thing they found on the New Zealand trials was it helps the bladder sphincter open.
it helps with the what now?
The bladder, the sphincter,
Okay. Okay.
it actually helps it open.
That's interesting because I
Yeah.
got
That was a
I
side
had
effect they didn't know about until, the study ended, that people could pee easier.
okay. So I It probably won't help me but with my cauda syndrome.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm corner recliner as well.
yeah, it's a horrible combo.
Yeah,
Um, I ended up having to self-cath,
yeah,
years ago. I had to start self-cathing. I I haven't had one of those good fun peas that, makes
yeah,
you shiver
yeah. Oh,
forever.
what are your catheters like? Just the big long tube?
Yeah, straight cath.
Wait 1 sec.
Yeah, those are
Catheters have changed, dude. This
okay, wise me up then.
is what you get now. All sealed packet.
Okay,
Yep. Tear it open. In there is a gel filled,
okay,
ready to go
pre-lubricated.
thing. You pull the red thing off. No, there's no UTI infections doing this.
Okay,
And then
see,
you just slowly push it out, and the catheter goes out all self-lube.
nice. Yeah, I carry a bag with me. It's a shoulder bag. I've got my catheter in there. I've got my lubricant in there. I've got little alcohol swabs in there. I just I just passed a kidney stone a couple of weeks ago, and I had a bladder infection. I tell you what, when when you have all this other stuff going on, you get a bladder infection, and that starts to affect your temperature. You start to run in
Yeah,
low grade temperature.
yeah,
It Any kind of temperature sets you off. It's like an automatic flare up that
yeah,
the nerves get stimulated. It just
yeah.
and
The trial data on that, it cut back my UTIs by, I think it was 85%.
what's the brand name of that catheter?
Uh, Hollister?
Oh,
Oh,
Vapro Hollister.
Hollister, uh, yeah.
Okay,
Vaporlock Pro.
pocket. I
Best
like that.
catheter in the world. You can't even feel it going up, dude.
Well, so here's where I love that because as a cyclist, when I go for a long ride, I can't go for a long ride if I have to stop and pee. I can't carry a 16-inch catheter with me
Yeah,
sticking out of my pocket.
yeah.
But those things are very discreet. Hell, you could just keep
They
it in your
are.
back. Yeah,
Yeah. Just whack it in a bottle,
yeah.
just straight down the toilet. There is an option with a bag, but I go for the option without the bag.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
I have the
See?
problem retention.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know I have to pee,
yeah,
but
yeah.
they've got me into a cycle where 3 times a day I can actually urinate
See, I do.
by
I
myself.
I do
Uh,
6. Oh, you do? You could go 3 times by yourself during the day. Oh,
yes.
wow.
Yeah, I think
That
link that with psychology, with running water.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's,
It
oh,
it backfires sometimes, but
yeah. There was an old movie back in the '70s where I think it was, I think it was Meatballs with Bill Murray, where the camp counselor, they put his hand in warm water, right, as he was asleep.
yeah, yeah,
Ugh.
yeah.
Alright, so
Yeah, and
is
the
that
other part is, you'll have it as well, neurogenic bowel.
yes,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
That's been the worst thing for me has been the neurogenic bowel, and
I had some studies on that too because I had that
yeah,
nutritionalist as part of my, rehab team.
yeah,
They changed my diet massively. So,
really?
I'm on basically a keto diet,
Okay. So lots of
vegetarian
protein,
mainly.
healthy fats, huh?
Sorry?
Lots of proteins, healthy
Yeah, lots
fats?
of protein. Eggs is my main protein.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, Mostly vegetarian.
Mm,
I eat very little in the morning. My main meal is at lunchtime, and then I snack in the evening. Healthy snacks in the evening.
okay.
And then about once a week, I'll have a fast day where I don't eat anything.
Gotcha. I I tend to kind of do the same thing. I'm down to about 2 meals a day. Big meal is kind of lunchtime.
Bang on
In the
lunch.
morning.
Yeah, she said something about the lunchtime main meal is the highest chance you're gonna have to digest it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can get that. Yeah. Breakfast is an important meal because you need that energy to get going. But
I
I
have
think I'm gonna
cannabis coffee normally.
yeah. Have you ever tried bulletproof coffee?
Mm,
Have you ever heard of it?
no, no, no.
Okay, so bulletproof coffee is just, I mean, it's a high quality coffee bean, not necessarily, you can use pretty much any bean, but it's using ghee butter, which is butter that's melted down, the water contents out, and it's just all the
Mhm.
healthy fats, and
Yep,
MCT coconut oil in your coffee, spin it up in a blender, and
yep,
oh my gosh, so good.
beautiful.
Yeah, the healthy fats,
Yep,
I mean, your body, your brain gets that
yep,
right from the very get go. And so it's
yep,
a good start to the day.
yep,
Yeah, bulletproof coffee. Look it
yep,
up if you like coffee. It's great.
yep. Yeah, and the funny thing was, during the group, he says, "Right, we're gonna test how fast your bowel is. You can either swallow this pill at the hospital," and then he gave me a box of black licorice, and he said, "Eat the licorice. Tell me when it
Okay.
turns, and tell me how many hours it takes to turn green."
Wow. See, I would have
And
said popcorn,
yeah,
probably.
and it turned out, yeah, it's about my bowel's about 8 hours slow.
Oh, wow. Okay. See, mine
So,
is just the opposite.
yeah,
It speeds up because of the dysautonomia. When I
yeah,
eat,
yeah,
my brain signals it to speed up, and so it's like I get immediate IBS, and
yeah,
not all the time. But it does come and go. I think they call that leaky gut syndrome as well,
yes,
where your body leaches out a lot of the toxins into the bloodstream, and then that causes
yeah,
all other kinds of problems with inflammation. Um, yeah, I'm learning a lot
yeah,
the more
yeah,
that I
but
research.
it's been 3 years since I've used the laxative.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah, that's
just
truly on.
keeping on, just knowing what works and keeping away from manufactured foods mainly.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Because like recall in my sales days before I was diagnosed, I would go grab a fast food meal, going from one sales meeting to the next,
I
and it
was
was
the
almost
same
like
as you.
halfway through it, and I'm like looking for a Texaco to go to the bathroom, like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
yeah,
and I'm just coming off. It was back in December. I had more than 30 days uh, of diarrhea. It was
yeah,
just something was going on.
yep.
Uh, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Finally, it kind of remedied itself, and that's when I went to the doctor and told him everything that I was feeling. He's like, "Oh, you got dysautonomia." I was like, "Oh,
That
another
sucks.
disease I've never heard of."
That makes it doubly tough.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, now I got Conia-Coins syndrome, dysautonomia,
Neurogenic.
cirrhosis.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's the gifts
yeah,
just keep on giving,
yeah,
as they
yeah,
say.
yeah,
Uh, so I'm gonna go back to the whole Facebook thing again. You were contacted by Facebook recently, and you had to start a company
yeah. We
or
had to
establish a
start a
business.
company because we were earning over $20,000 a month.
God, Scott, you need to start funding some arachnoiditis research, man.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I put it all back into the company and we give it
Good for
away.
you. Okay, good for you, man. Good for you.
Yeah.
Altruistic is
Because
uh,
I get paid thousands from the government
okay.
in New Zealand. So worker injury here is a little bit different. I get 80% of my income when I was
Okay.
injured.
Okay.
Um, so me and my co-director decided, no, we're just going to put it all back into the country.
I my pension was not so generous. I
Yeah.
was when I had to quit working, I had a six-figure job.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
six figure.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had a expense account, a company
Yeah.
car, the whole nine
Yeah.
yards. I
I
went
was
from that
working I was
down
working all
to
over the Pacific and Australia.
uh, oh,
Yeah,
really?
based from New Zealand. Yeah.
Wow.
I spend
Yes.
more time in the air.
Well, speaking of spending time in the air, that's where all my pain really, I started to focus on the pain
Yeah.
that I was in. It got to be so completely unbearable sitting in those airline chairs. They're
Oh,
not
no.
ergonomic whatsoever. And,
Yeah.
our pain, it's all
I
positional,
think
right?
I've only had one plane flight since Arachnoiditis, and that was Tahiti, and they
Mm,
had to bring a wheelchair on board to take me off.
uh. Yeah. See,
But it was the fastest ever trip through customs and everything. It was great.
well, that's my very first flight that I took when I was in my wheelchair.
Yeah,
I was trying to go through the security line. I was trying to snake my way through the security line in my wheelchair. And
yeah,
finally, somebody came over and he goes, "Come here." And he took the little zip thing off the gate and he let me go through. And he goes, "You do know you get to go to the front of the line to get through the airport,
yeah,
right? You're not going to have to do all
yeah,
this." And I'm like,
yeah.
"Thank, there's one benefit, right?
Mm,
You get to load first, but you're almost
yeah,
always the last to come
yeah,
off if you need
yeah,
help, right? Which that kind of sucks
yeah. But
because
part of
you're in
that
the plane longer than everybody.
yeah, going back, part of that rehab was 2015, I could not walk. I
Oh
was
man, so
unable to
you're
walk.
so you're
Uh,
completely paralyzed now?
right side is paralyzed,
Yeah.
left is fairly good.
Okay.
Um, but they taught me to walk again. And
Mm,
the swimming pool became my, savior.
yeah. Yeah.
Learned to
Well, you can
walk in water,
right.
and now I'm up to, my next goal is a quarter marathon, walking.
Attaboy, man. Hey, I just finished my first quarter marathon last year. I wanted to do it
Yeah,
again this year.
yeah,
I did it with forearm crutches. I was the first to do it with forearm crutches at the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon,
yeah,
um, of the quarter marathon anyway.
yeah,
And last year was the first year that they opened it up. I tell you what, it was a task. Several people that saw me there with, doing with the forearm crutches were like, they saw some of my posts and like, I saw you and my pain went away instantly because I knew you were working twice as hard because you were using the arms and
yeah,
legs to
yeah,
cover the distance and you were
yeah,
moving,
yeah.
and I was like,
I'm exactly the same. I use crutches for distance. If I'm going a long distance just to reduce the fall hazard.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good for you, man. I think that's the one thing that a lot of people don't get with this disease is that you can't stop moving. You have to
You
find a
have to
reason
move.
to
The way I
move.
say it to people, Jurian explained it to me like this. He said, your spinal fluid works very
Yeah.
similar to your blood system. You've
Yeah.
got to
Yeah.
be upright for the CSF fluid to flow. And then he
Yeah.
said
And
to me, your heart rate has to be elevated because your CSF mimics the heartbeat when it pumps. And that was the gold mine moment for me, I think. About 2018. And all the people I've taught hundreds of people now over the years in that arachnoiditis group. And the biggest thing I teach is movement.
yeah.
No, yeah, sure, you might be only able to get to the front gate today, but just keep at it.
Yeah. I keep,
Yeah,
when I was recovering from my accident, I started thinking every day I had to set a new finish line for myself. I had to extend the distance that I was going for that day, knowing that that's the only way that I was going to improve and not regress or not stay
yeah,
stagnant, right? To
yeah,
get strong.
yeah,
And that's the same thing with this is that, when you get diagnosed and you get forced to retire, um, I was sitting around moping and, not doing anything constructive until I started this and
yeah,
find a reason to find some purpose in life again.
exactly.
If not,
The other one I tell people is volunteer. Go out and volunteer. Every city has a volunteer hub. I got caught up. One of our arachnoiditis admins, she died of COVID. She was a New York City nurse 6 years ago, basically. Really healthy 40-year-old. And
Mhm.
my friend took her an orange, said, "Get me an orange," and she came back and she was dead. And she had just left it too long to get to hospital. And
Wow.
one of my volunteer roles was helping over 1,000 New Zealanders get their prescriptions, oxygen, and oxygen meters. And, I should have been scared with arachnoiditis getting it, but it just the funny thing was when I was doing that driving is the worst thing on planet Earth for us.
Hell yeah. Thank you very much.
But when I was doing that driving, I felt no pain because I had that purpose.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a neurochemical thing,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think. Um, I mentioned this the other day that, when you laugh and you're
Mhm.
positive,
Yeah,
you're sending good neurochemicals through your body.
yeah.
Laughter is,
It's
they
called,
say, is
I'll send you the link to, Lorimer's
okay.
book. It's called Dims and Sims. Danger in me signals, safety in me signals. Um, the danger signals that we keep getting sent, safety signals will
Mhm.
overpower the danger signals, and they lower. Anything laughter, anything nice
Yeah,
will lower a pain signal.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Um, and it's quite cool because he used a graph of my trial in his book about flare-ups. How over time, sure, this is going back to, I can only get to the gate.
yeah,
That was my first goal, getting to the gate. But in the graph, they showed that over the years, my flare-ups became less severe and they became further apart. And it was all graphed. It was amazing. And it made it to his book.
yeah. That's awesome. I mean, and again, I think I try to mention this as often as possible. People need to journal because even with that, um, it's again a simple distraction. When you're writing and you're concentrating on the writing, what are you not doing? You're not concentrating on the pain. The pain's still there,
It's
but
still
it's just
there.
being suppressed. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just you're you can't talk and chew bubblegum at the same time. They say, right? That's kind of the same thing with this theory. Is that somebody always asks me, "What do you do when you have flare ups?" I'm like, I do anything. I mean, I flick through my phone, I write, I watch TV. I'm constantly pacing because I'm in so much pain. Sometimes I can't sit down. I'm in too much pain. Um, and it's just distraction.
Yeah.
Period. That's all you need.
Period. It's the most magical
Hmm.
medicine that so I use it every day.
Yeah, I'm
And you
like,
put it perfectly with distraction.
yeah, I'm fidgeting right now.
Yeah.
I'm in pain, but this
Yeah.
conversation
Same from
is
sitting
making me
too
take it
long.
off. Yeah, yeah. My pain level's at like a 9 right now. It's
Yeah.
it's pretty severe,
Yeah.
but
No, I'll do
um,
something for you. How you hear live on video.
there you is that your CBD?
No, that is
Mm,
ketamine.
ketamine. Oh, okay. I don't take, um, my
So
body
that's
does
different.
not do chemicals well at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ketamine's a good one because it doesn't act like any other chemical.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And
Um,
it's in pill form, I believe?
Normally you'll take it nasally. Um, you swallow it. I usually swallow this in the morning.
Mhm.
But the other thing is you can do what's called a troche, which is a lolly, which is just
Oh, okay, so you're just dumping the powder. It's a capsule. Gotcha.
out onto my tongue. It
So
absorbs through
that's
my tongue in seconds.
that's similar to, like, if you're having a heart attack they tell you to chew a baby aspirin or just chew an
Yeah,
aspirin
yeah,
because that's going to get into your bloodstream quicker and it's going to open it, vasodilate.
yeah.
Yeah.
So bioavailability of ketamine nasal is 46%. Troche, just like that, is 32%. If I swallow it, it's 16%. And that goes for nearly every medicine.
Wow. Okay.
Another one I have here is it's called Rivotril,
Vitriol. Okay.
liquid clonazepam. You call it Clonopin, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Big difference with this one. It's used for children in post-epileptic attacks,
Uh-huh.
and it's a liquid.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm. And it absorbs straight through your mouth in seconds. Tablets
Wow.
don't work for me. So I use that for flare-ups and major muscle spasms.
And I got the only go-to I have is prednisone, 20
Yeah,
milligrams. I take that.
yeah.
I
I
watch
have
the weather
I
and I
have
take
that
that.
on my flare kit as well, 5
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Um, First 2 days, I usually, settle down and just know I'm getting into it. Then the prednisone hits about the 2-day mark,
Yeah.
and then
That's about right.
I get up and start doing shit
Yeah. It's,
until it weans off. The secret is you gotta get up and start moving.
yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you can't rely on the steroid to give you all the energy that you need to get
No,
around, right?
no.
It's the feeling that I used to get when I took it
Yeah,
is gone.
yeah.
I don't get that, wow, energetic, I'm ready to go
No,
conquer the
no,
world.
same.
That's gone a long time ago. I get the I get the subtle effect of
Yeah.
the inflammation going down
The
and,
inflammation
like,
going down is what I notice. That's all
yeah,
I notice.
yeah.
Uh,
So,
but it's been 4 months since I've had it. Yeah,
had a
it's in my
flare-up?
kit. So I have in my day kit is cannabis oil.
Mhm.
That costs me about 70 US. I have to pay for it. It's all medicines are free here, but that's one I have to pay for.
Okay.
I have another one called quetiapine. In the States, it's called Seroquel. It was banned there until 2020. It's a antipsychotic, and
Okay.
it's used for sleep, insomnia.
Yeah,
Um,
I take duloxetine.
yeah,
It's an antidepressant, but also
yeah,
used for pain,
yeah.
and,
It's not addictive as well. It's not an
no.
addictive
Well, I
one, is
mean,
it?
any pretty much any pill you take long term is gonna be addictive, right?
Yeah,
It's your body's gonna think,
quetiapine's one you can stop instantly.
"Yeah, I have before.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a big deal."
And
It's not like a
the way it works is it slowly stops you thinking at night.
oh,
And
okay.
that's the way it works. Yeah.
That
We take 50 milligrams. A psychotic patient that a friend of mine takes
mhm.
400 milligrams.
Wow.
So
Wow.
we're using a side effect of a drug just to sleep.
Yeah.
Um, my foster child is prescribed it, not because of me or anything else. It's because doctors like it because you
Yeah.
can't overdose. It'll knock your ass out no matter how much pain you're in.
Wow.
It'll knock
Okay,
it
I like you
it'll knock an elephant out, but you can still
I
get
need
up and
some of
pee.
that. I take, what is it called? Trazodone, I think,
Yeah,
as a sleeping pill,
yeah,
and when I'm having a flare-up, all that does is make me a danger to myself because
yeah,
I'm just loopy dizzy, but
yeah.
it does not put me to sleep, does not keep me to
Um,
sleep
so
at all.
I'm gonna send you some info on Seroquel.
Okay.
There is a, warning label on it for use for sleep. Your fridge may be empty in the morning.
My what maybe?
Your fridge might be empty in the morning. It
Oh, wait.
gives
So I'm going to raid the
You'll,
fridge.
you'll go and raid the fridge and you don't know about it. Weight gain. There is a thing for weight gain on it.
Okay.
You got to be
Okay.
careful of.
That's
Yeah.
nice. Well,
Uh,
there
and the
was,
other
there,
one is daily is ketamine.
yeah. No, that one I
Uh,
am going to ask about because I need something in my toolbox
yeah.
for the
And it's a
worst of the worst
tool.
days.
This one's a tool. It's not a painkiller.
Yeah.
Right.
Is it? So there's no euphoric feeling. It's just a
I've
receptor.
got
It just
slight
sends receptor.
euphoria at the moment because you just saw me put that on my tongue.
Yeah.
I'm still a normal person. I'm not tripping balls. Yeah.
That
I was I
Sarah
was
turned.
I was so lucky to be I was part of the dosage trials in 2015 when they
Mm,
came up with the dosage for treatment resistant depression, and
okay.
it's 50 milligrams, and that's the point where it chops off your NMDA receptors. Just chops them off,
Yeah. I mean,
and
that's interesting.
and yeah, you can't. I can never feel sad, really sad or depressed. I can't feel really ecstatic, but you don't notice that part. Um, but talking to Dwayne, a Canadian who's also started on it and got great results, he said that the killing of the depression part helped him more than the pain killing side of it.
Okay. I mean, that's, we're all, when you're in pain, you're definitely going to suffer some sort of depression. It's
Yeah.
just inevitable.
But
Even I,
this has got a funky trick. So you get up to about 75 milligrams.
Mhm.
It's your something where all the pain signals come into your brain. It begins with D. What it does is it chops them off
Mm, okay.
at 75 milligrams. Usually you'll hear your head ring. And if you hear your head ring, you know that, yep, that's a
I've,
sweet dose.
I've had a
So you
constant
know,
ring in my ears for
yeah.
years.
So yeah, I've just had 100 milligrams. So yeah, my head was ringing for a little bit,
Yeah.
and that's the point where it resets pain. So think of
Okay.
Chinese water torture effect. It's called wind up pain. You put a little drip on your head from our little arachnoiditis damage signal. It's not
Yeah.
really major, but you keep that drip going for days and then years, and it's a sledgehammer that's going to kill you.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
ketamine does, it chops it off every
Okay.
day for me. And,
Wow. Yeah.
it's not addictive. It's only a Schedule 3 drug in the USA even.
Well, it's got a bad rap because Matthew Perry died from a
Yeah, yeah,
ketamine
yeah,
overdose.
yeah, but
So
you go through a
it could be a few.
compounding pharmacy and you
Yeah.
get Troach.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
like
Well, I
you,
mean,
Troach or nasal spray.
mhm.
Nasal spray's the best. You can get one called S-ketamine that's available over the counter at any pharmacy. And the same dose is the same dose that does the reset.
Okay.
The same dose for
Yep.
depression does the reset.
I'm gonna look into it for sure because
Yeah. The
my
best one
pain.
the one I tell most people to do is Google ketamine clinic near me.
Well, yeah, Sarah had ketamine infusion,
Yeah.
and she
No,
did.
you want at home.
Okay.
Yeah. Infusions suck. I started with infusions in 2009, and they were good for a day or so, and then the effects went off pretty bloody quickly. They weren't
Yeah,
that
and
great.
it's not the cheapest alternative out there
No,
either. Yeah,
no,
so it's not covered by insurance, and
no.
that, or at least by Medicare,
And the
which
funny thing
Sarah.
is, that costs about $5 US a gram to buy.
Well, probably costs you $5. Here, it's probably $150.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Somebody's wanting to line their pockets.
that's the raw price of it. The extra price is the adding on.
Yeah.
But a nasal spray is by far the best, and any compounding pharmacy will make one, and it's usually 2 squirts up each nose,
Yeah, it's
and it's
probably
my
fast
dose,
acting. Yeah,
and
going
it's
through the
instant
brand.
acting. Yeah,
Oh,
but only
hey,
once a day. You
only.
don't use it as
Okay.
a painkiller.
Yeah.
Usually I'll use my as pain builds during the day, and you
Mhm.
get to the evening and it's like, oh far out. I'll go to bed, dim all the lights, everything else, have ketamine, and then bang, the rest of my day starts again from scratch. Because
Wow.
my not 8 out of 10 is now a 3 out of 10.
Man, what I
Yeah,
wouldn't give.
that's what I mean by the reset. It resets that perception to pain.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Well, hey, I tell you what, let's wrap it up, but I want to have another conversation.
Yeah,
I think
definitely, dude. We've got lots we can talk about.
yeah, there's more that that needs to come out of this, but
Yeah,
in the meantime, I will I'll try to get this out relatively quick. I've got one coming out tomorrow. Normally, I'm
yeah,
dropping them on Wednesday,
yeah.
around
Great,
noon.
great
But
format, dude. Well done.
thank
I'm
you so
so
much. Thank you
impressed.
so much. I
This
really
was so
appreciate it.
easy.
Yeah, and I ended up following you on Instagram. I'm gonna start. Some of those pictures are amazing. It's no wonder you're getting a million likes, and
Yeah.
you've got all this recognition through Facebook. Well deserved. I'm so
Uh,
proud that
yeah. Like
you're
this
so over the
morning,
finish.
I don't know if we can see that, but you know, that's got
My gosh,
200,000 likes already. We posted that this morning.
my gosh, that I
Yeah,
did. Yeah, that is crazy. I'll put your socials
yeah,
here as well, and
yeah.
hopefully there'll be some back and forth with your
Hey,
viewers and
the
my
funny
viewers.
thing is, nobody knows my name. Nobody knows I've got arachnoiditis.
Really?
Not
That
one
you know what?
single person in New Zealand knows my name or that I've
That,
got an injury.
that is
I
man.
don't tell anyone.
Okay, I'll keep it on the down low for you. How's
No,
that?
no, 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 but anybody else doesn't matter, but
Okay.
it's quite crazy that, you're so
Uh,
messed up, yet you're doing
yeah,
so much good for the country.
yeah. I've got some more interviews coming up with some really exciting people.
Mm,
I count you amongst that group. I really appreciate the opportunity to
yeah.
talk to you. Um,
I've got another one for you too, David
okay.
McHugh.
Can
He's a
you,
trauma coach, and
send me
he
his contact.
dabbles in arachnoiditis.
Okay. If
Uh,
you could pass along his contact
yep,
info,
yep.
and
He would love to chat with you, and he's
yeah.
got a decade's experience as a manager of a fibromyalgia unit in New Zealand.
Okay. Yeah,
But
I'm wanting to get more expert opinions
yeah,
out there, and I have several people that are coming up that should offer
yeah,
some really great advice for all of us.
yeah.
Um, one is there's a huge crossover that I'm just now discovering between dysautonomia and arachnoiditis, and
Yes,
that connection
yes,
has not been made. That
yeah.
maybe that we're not talking about that enough.
And
And
that's only
uh,
just been this 2026 that sort of
yeah,
started
yeah.
picking up. Hey, even I've noticed it.
So we'll plan on circling back. I really appreciate
Nice,
the
dude.
talk, and let's let's go change the world. I keep saying that to everybody that I talk to. When we're advocates, that's the whole purpose, is to make
Yeah,
change happen, and
yeah.
we're doing that. So, thanks, brother. We're gonna wrap it up
Cool.
here. We'll see you on the next episode. Like, subscribe, please. We're at 324 subscribers. I'm wanting to get to 1,000 so bad.
How many am I at? 382,000.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I've got 1%,
Yeah.
1/10 of 1%. So, all right,
Yeah.
Scott, thanks so much. We will
Dude,
see you on the next session.
awesome chatting to you. Good guy. See ya.